Hey, it's Corey, and today you're gonna learn how to play Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. What's great about this tune is it is pretty easy as far as pop songs go because it's going to follow the same progression throughout the entire song. In addition, if the chords we're using for the song, which is in the original key, ends up being a little bit too tricky for you, I do have some alternative chords you could use that will put it in an easier key. That means the chords will be easier for you, but it will be a little bit lower when singing. So with all that, let's just jump right into the tutorial. The chords we're using for today are going to be, and this is actually in the order of the progression that we're going to be using, is going to be an F minor, a C minor, an E flat major, and a B flat major. To make the F minor, what you're gonna do first is take your first finger, place that on the 4th string 1st fret, then you're taking your second finger, placing that on the 1st fret 2nd string, and then you're gonna take your 4th finger and place that where normally your 3rd finger would go for a C major chord, which is the 1st string 3rd fret, and then that is your F minor chord. Now, for those of you that don't use your pinky a lot when you play, you're going to be tempted to want to use a 3rd finger, but that gets really hard and then your 2nd finger is going to slip, so just get used to using the 4th finger. Next up, we have a C minor chord, and this one's actually really easy. It's just going to be barring across strings 3, 2, and 1 on the 3rd fret. And when barring this manner, I always put my 2nd finger over it, even just a little bit, to give a little bit of extra support to the chord. But then also I make sure to put my thumb right behind the fret that I'm using for that chord. And in this case, it'd be the 3rd fret. Next up, we have the E flat major chord, and this one's going to start with your 1st finger, placing it on the 1st fret 1st string, then taking your 2nd finger, going on the 3rd fret 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger is going to go on the 3rd fret 2nd string. And that's your E flat major. And finally, we have the B flat major, which is probably the chord you've maybe heard of the most when it comes to barring. It's partially barred on strings 1 and 2 with your 1st finger. So you're taking that 1st finger and barring across strings 1 and 2 on the 1st fret. Then you're taking your 2nd finger, placing that on the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then your 3rd finger is going on the 3rd fret 4th string. And for that, make sure you have your thumb about where the 1st fret is. If it goes down a little bit, like right on that 1st fret wire, that's okay too. But typically when you're doing barring of any kind, you always want to make sure you're supporting with that thumb. So behind on the fretboard where it needs it. So in this case, it's going to be on the 1st fret. Once you become familiar enough with those chords, meaning that you don't need to necessarily look at the chord chart every single time when you're playing it through the song, then you know you're at a point where you're ready to move on to the strumming pattern. For this song, we're going to keep it pretty simple and just use the island strum. However, it's going to feel fast, and we're going to be playing each chord for 2 patterns of the island strum before changing to the next chord. So the island strum typically, and I'm just demonstrating on an F minor chord, is a down, down, up, up, down, up. We're going to be playing it down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And then that's going to be a full pattern. What we're also going to add is the chuck. So a down, down, up, down, up turns into a down, chuck, up, chuck, up. So when you play that twice, you get down, chuck, up, down, chuck, up, chuck, up. Then you're going to move through the entire progression, going F minor, C minor, E flat major, B flat major. So the entire progression will sound like this. Couple of notes: when you're moving from that F sharp minor, it's going to be a big lift to then jump down to the 3rd fret. So what I do is I would really practice that transition a lot, especially if you're not used to using that 4th finger when playing, because for most of these chords, you're doing a full lift. What I mean by that is really there aren't any shared strings with the transitions between the different chords. So if I start from a F sharp minor, moving to that C minor, I'm completely lifting and repositioning my finger. Then moving from that C minor all the way up to the B flat major, again, is a full lift. You can do a little bit of a pivot when moving from the E flat to the B flat, but mostly it's still gonna feel like a total lift too. So just get really familiar with those different chords before you start trying to do the strumming pattern, because there's nothing worse than moving on to a strumming pattern before you know those chords, because you're gonna get a ton of weird little gaps while you're strumming. Just play through the song first on a chord change and then move up to playing on the beat and then incorporate the strumming pattern, especially if you're not as familiar with chucking or just with doing downs and ups in general, if you're a really beginner player. That being said, if you don't know how to do a chuck, you can totally still play this song just with the strums. It sounds fine as well. There are a few little times we're going to add a few little stylistic things just to make the song a little less monotonous with the accompaniment. These little things are going to be happening just at the ends of the pre-choruses, moving into the choruses mainly, and then there will just be a few times where we're playing on just the chord change rather than using our strumming pattern. With this pre-chorus, it's going to be the same as what you have previously been playing, except for at the very end of the pre-chorus, right before we move into the chorus, you're going to just strum on the chord change of the last B flat. So that transition will sound like this. Since it is cold and empty, there's no one around to judge me. I can't see clearly when you're gone, gone, gone. So you can see when I got to gone, I just strummed and let it ring while I sing that. And then you move into the chorus. And then we'll have our last chorus, which is kind of played more like an outro. And with this chorus, we're just gonna be playing on the chord changes. So it'll sound like this. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. And then that will end out the whole song. Now, if these chords end up being a little bit too difficult for you, you can play some alternate chords in the following progression and then do everything else the same in this tutorial and you'll be able to play the song too. So we end up going from F minor to C minor to E flat major to B flat major. And instead, we then play with the easier key of D minor, A minor, C major, G major. And then you can follow everything else the same and just sing the chords. If you're looking for a song sheet that has the easy chords rather than the original key, I actually have both on my Patreon. So whether you'd like to play this in the original key or an easier key, or maybe you're a male singer or you have a lower voice and you want to play it a little bit lower, you can definitely check that out, and that's all on my Patreon. So I keep all my resources there. If having a play along of that easy key would be really helpful for you, make sure to like this video and then comment down below. If there's enough interest, I can definitely put that out there for you guys. But with all of that, let's give it a play along. 1, 2, here we go. I'm trying to call, I mean I'm alone for long enough. Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch. Baby, I look around and since it is cold and empty, oh, no one around to judge me. I can't see clearly is how to play Blinding Lights and a little bit of how to play an easier version of it. I hope you guys found this helpful. As I said before, you can find all of my song sheets on my Patreon, and that is linked down in the description box below. But otherwise, if there are other weekend songs that you really love that you'd love to see a tutorial of, or you just enjoyed this, let me know down in the comment section, and please give this video a like. But otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Hey, it's Corey again. I just wanted to take a second to thank my gold tier Patreon members in particular. That's Rosemary Bristol, Glenn Clement, Perry Payne, Yuki, Stefan Ramirez, Nadia Rogers, Bradley Carter, Matthew Newton, Andrew Atberry, and Chad Taylor. Thank you guys so much for your generous support, and I couldn't do this without you. Thanks so much. Bye!